I am so freaking crabby. I'm so freaking crabby. I have had the best summer of my life. I am just so grateful to be a mom. I've been waiting for this time of life my entire life, and having Mia here just adds so much joy. It's unreal. I am just so grateful. But the last week I have been so crabby. So crabby. Ugh. I got blood work done last week and I got bad results. If you are familiar with TSH, the thyroid stimulating hormone, you know that a level 14 is not good. I want to be at a 2.5 or below. 14 ain't good, okay? So I figured this is a good time for me to tell you about the disease that I have, Hashimoto's disease. It is an autoimmune disorder where my immune system attacks my thyroid gland. The thyroid is a butterfly-shaped gland that is in the front of your neck, and it controls everything. The thyroid releases hormones which influence bodily functions like breathing, heart rate, body temperature, cholesterol, fertility, metabolism, muscle control, and brain development. There is no cure for Hashimoto's, but it can be managed with hormone replacement. I personally take a pill every morning, and every couple months I get my blood work done to make sure that I'm on the right dose. Hashimoto's is super thick on my maternal side. My mom has it, her two sisters, my cousin, and my grandma. Mia was actually tested on the second day she was born. She got blood work done, and to my understanding, she doesn't have it. So she's hopefully in the clear. Anyways, last week I got this blood work back and I was not happy because my previous result months prior also came back high, and my endocrinologist changed my dosage, but just barely. And my intuition was telling me that's not enough. That's not drastic enough of a change. And here we are at 14 when I'm supposed to be 2.5 and below. I should have known better because my body was not behaving correctly. I couldn't breathe. I had so much anxiety. I was so emotional. I had zero appetite for weeks. I wanted to punch people in the face that I usually don't want to punch in the face. But anyways, I've been on a new dose for the last couple days. I already feel better. I still have a couple lingering symptoms. If somebody asked me the most bothersome symptom of Hashimoto's, fertility, I don't know. I mean, as a reminder, I went through fertility treatment for 3 years. I had 1 early miscarriage. I did 4 IUIs, 2 egg retrievals, and 5 IVF transfers. Those 3 years going in and out of the fertility center multiple times a week, injecting myself with drugs every day. Those were the hardest 3 years of my life. But Mia's here, so my baby's here, so I really can't complain. My infertility was unexplained. Unexplained infertility. I'll explain it for you. It's right here, because of this. And do I think about cave woman Lauren and think about without fertility treatments, would she be able to have the babies that she wanted? Yeah, she would, because I'm supposed to have children. And would it take a little longer? And maybe when I have a couple more miscarriages? Yeah, but my babies who are meant for me are going, like, that's what I was born for, to be a mom. So yeah, Cave Woman Lauren would get her babies. Anyways, the most bothersome symptom. On a daily basis, I experience fatigue. A feeling of persistent exhaustion that I experience both physically and mentally. That's gotta be it. Some people like to say, oh, everybody's tired. There's no freaking way that I should be this tired. No matter how much I sleep, no matter how much coffee I drink, no matter how much I'm exercising or drinking water, the fatigue is there. Ugh. So that's got to be the worst. But listen, we're all born with our things. This is just one of my things. We're all born with our stuff. For me, it's Hashimoto's. I already mentioned my IBS. ADHD. There's depression and anxiety in my family. And my eyesight is not that great. But guess what? I'm grateful, okay? We all have our things. We all have our things. We can deal with our things. We can handle them. It's what makes us stronger. So anyways, because I was so freaking crabby this last week, I thought this would be a good chance for me to talk about my bad mood busters. It's just part of being a human. We've all been there where we just have those days or weeks where you feel like nothing is going right, just like one thing after the other. And it could be major things like, oh, like your boss is like disrespecting you, or your kids are sick. Sometimes it's just those little freaking annoying things that add up. Like the can opener is stuck in the drawer and you can't get it open. You need the can opener. You can't get the drawer open. Or the fire alarm batteries, how they always start beeping in the middle of the night. It's never during the day. Like there should be some sort of sensor on the alarm. It's like, hey, I'm about to, start alerting you that the batteries are out. And I noticed that it's daytime, and I can tell you right now, after dinner, like when you're watching TV, but instead you wait until 3 in the morning to tell me. You have to get the ladder out and everything and find the batteries. Or like last week, I was dealing with whoever, whatever, and they asked me to fax something to them? Are you insane? It is 2025. I was like, can I have an email address instead? And they're like, no, you have to fax it. Anyways, one of my passions is life hacks. And that's kind of another reason that I thought it'd be fun for me to have a YouTube channel so I could share the hacks that I've come up with. So here are my 5 hacks on how to bust a bad day. Tip number 1, have perspective and be grateful. One of my least favorite chores of life is doing the dishes. What if I had the perspective every time I did the dishes and I thought about why I have dirty dishes? I have dirty dishes because I have food for my family. And so many people don't have that. So many people wish that they could have dirty dishes. Why am I folding my laundry? Because I have clean clothes. We've all had a sore throat before. The feeling where it even hurts to breathe, even the air coming down your throat hurts. And we've probably thought to ourselves in that moment, oh my God, I just can't wait until my throat doesn't hurt anymore. I didn't appreciate those days where my throat didn't hurt. Being grateful and having perspective, although we all forget about it all the time because we get wrapped up in our own stupid little problems, having perspective and being grateful alone can reset your days and totally change the course. Okay, tip number 2. It's a little similar to number 1, but also different. Tip number 2, zoom out and think of outer space. I'm gonna show you this TikTok I saved years ago. I think it's so funny and I think about it all the time.
I'm sure by now you guys have seen the images of deep space. All of these specks are galaxies, and in those galaxies are 100 billion planets. You can't even comprehend just this photo. You can't. You're just like, oh, I see the image. We are so small. You're sitting over here being like, did you hear about Jessica? She failed out of hair school. Shut up. Nothing matters. Jesus Christ is our Lord and Savior. Oh yeah, he went to all these? He went to this number of planets that is not even a real number because there's so many. My panini's cold. Shut up. You are a grain of sand. You are less than a grain of sand. Shut up. Be nice to people. I don't know why I'm here. You don't know why we're here. We all just think we know. We don't know anything. Have some fun. Go do some fun ass shit.
I don't want this tip to be misconstrued because your life is so important in the makeup of the universe. There is a reason that you were born. Your life matters to so many people and you have a purpose. But at the same time, when I have a really bad day and I think about my stupid problems and I can't get the can opener out of the drawer, I like to think about outer space. My little house in Chicago, zoom out. Chicago, zoom out. Illinois, zoom out. The United States, zoom out. All the countries in the oceans, zoom out. The planet, zoom out. All of our planets, zoom out. The solar system, zoom out. Stars, galaxy, zoom out, zoom out. All the galaxies that ever existed, zoom out. All existence of all time. Oh my God. Your tiny little speck of a self dealing with your can opener? It's just like your life is just a blip, the tiniest little beep. Like you can't even make a beep short enough of how short your life is in comparison. Doesn't that help you relax a little bit just to think about that? Like, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Your cold panini does not matter. For me, that gives me so much peace. I am someone who I believe thinks about the meaning of life more than the average person. When I really try to boil it down, thinking about the purpose of life, I don't think there is one. So why don't we just have fun and enjoy life as much as we can? And you know the way that we'll enjoy life as much as we can? Being kind, because karma is real and you will get back what you give. Just be nice. Tip number 4 if you're having a bad day. Now don't be mad at me for this one. Don't be mad at me for this one. Drink water. Water helps so much. If you're sick, if you're in a bad mood, you're probably just dehydrated. I'm dehydrated literally all the time. That's it. Number 3, drink water. Tip number 4, being a human is hard. Remember that your only job is to survive. If you think about it, that's really the only thing that you need to do. Just be alive at the end of the day. Remember that on some days, just surviving is good enough. And finally, tip number 5 is check your mood booster list. This is a tip I came up with myself. I just started a list on my phone of things that just make me feel better. And they could be the most random things. I'm a little embarrassed to show, but I will. Okay, so on the top here, I wrote the tips that I just talked about. And below is just a bunch of things that just seem to make me feel better. For example, one is the beach. There's really nothing that makes me feel happier than being at the beach by the ocean. But I live in Chicago. I don't have access to that all the time. But I have this perfume by Bobbi Brown called Beach. It smells exactly like the beach. Just smelling it makes me feel better. So on my list, I have beach, beach perfume. Shopping, meditation, a cold shower, deep breathing, talking to my spirit guides, kitties, going out to eat, and then I have exercise, biking, boxing, and swimming, and then sound/music, just a bunch of just music that makes me feel better. Like we all have those songs when we hear them, it's just like nostalgia or just intense, just like, oh my God, I love this song. Like put those on your list, the ones that just make you feel good. Cause on a bad day, dancing it out, Meredith Grey style. And then I have a shopping list, so basically stores that make me happy. Like if I'm like, oh, today really sucks, you know what could really do the trick is a TJ Maxx run. Yeah. And then films, like I really like inspirational documentaries like Brene Brown, like The Secret always just gives me a nice recheck. And then I have services, acupuncture, and then I also have an energy healer that I've seen twice, and she has helped me both so much each time. And then lastly, I have on my list is books. I like self-help books, for example, Marie Kondo. That's totally my jam. Anyways, so that's trick number 5 is have a mood booster list. Anytime you're just going throughout a normal day and all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, like this makes me feel so much better, whatever it is. Whether it's just like going for a drive or like walking through Home Depot and looking at their plants or the Container Store. I love the Container Store. So I'm gonna reference my mood booster list and pick a couple things and amp up this day. All right, here are the ones I'm gonna do for today. All right, I'm gonna pick treat yourself. I'm gonna make a little sweet treat, a chocolate cake recipe that I told you guys about in a previous vlog. It is so good. So we're gonna make that together today. Okay, I'm gonna box and dance it out. All right, that's my list today. I'm gonna treat myself to a chocolate cake, box, and dance it out. Those are my mood boosters for today. We're about to make cake. One last note about Hashimoto's. It is often in conversation with gluten intolerance. So for the past few days, I have been doing a gluten cleanse. So the cake I'm about to make is the exact same recipe that's linked below, except I'm using gluten-free flour instead of regular flour. So hopefully it's just as good or pretty close, because this is one of those recipes where you eat it and you're like, no notes. I want to explain to you the way that I type up my recipes. I do it in a little funny way. I personally find average recipes to be quite confusing usually. Just the way that they're normally typed out. I'm like, all right, like an average recipe that I would find through Pinterest or Google or whatever, I usually find to be quite overly complicated. So if I find a recipe I love, I'll usually type it up myself in a way that makes sense to my ADHD brain. So what I do is I separate everything into bowls. So for the prep, everything is simplified. So I have bowl 1, 2, and 3, and then the things on the top are things that are just going to be added separately. Bowl number 1 here, bowl 2, and over here is my frosting bowl. I'm going to just keep that separate so I don't get confused. But now, instead of like referencing the recipe, like so many, okay, add butter, add salt, add 2 eggs, this, everything is already prepped. Does that make sense? Okay, you'll see. I like to have everything prepped, even the supply, like the cake pan, it's already greased and floured. Okay, here we go. Sift together bowl 1 in the electric mixer. Okay. Instead of it saying, add the flour and the salt and the baking powder and the baking whatever, it's all right here already. So I'm gonna add this in. Now I'm gonna add in bowl 2. Mix at medium speed for 2 minutes. Add eggs and vanilla. Beat for 2 more minutes. My endocrinologist was like, have you ever considered a gluten-free diet? I was like, oh, yeah, you're fired. All right, these are going in the oven. Alrighty, this is going back on. Now we're making the frosting. In goes the butter first. All right, now I'm adding bowl number 3, which is the frosting bowl. Look how dark this frosting is. Yum.